Hello fellow YouTubers, MrModelnut here. I'm going to show you the next project that I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be working on the 32 Ford Phaeton. I'm going to do major modifications to it. Of course, I used to build them stock. Now I'm starting to build more custom stuff because it's more challenging for me. One of the things I'm going to do is shorten it 3/8 of an inch. Basically right out of the center here. I'm going to fill in the original door lines on the back, on here, and then the back one, and then I'm going to scribe a new line to make a wide two-door version. I'm going to cut this out so that it'll fit over the frame and so that the wheels can tuck in real nice. I'm going to channel it over it. I'm going to take and sand this perfectly square all the way around, because my big goal is to put a hard top on it. It's going to be a lot of work. I've done a few measurements, which means cutting down the back half. There's also cutting the interior tub 3/8 of an inch out of the center, sanding it down, cutting out a few things so that it'll sit over the frame, be nice and channeled over the frame. Take the original fenders, and I don't like the way the front ones look on it, so I'm going to just cut the front half right off. I'm going to cut the center section out because you have to cut it out in order to fit it over the frame. Plus I'm going to cut the gas tank out, and when I did my first measurements, I'm going to probably have to widen this just a little bit. For the front fenders, I'm going to use the 34 Ford fenders, so I'm just going to cut the front half off. I'll probably have to slice it in the center because I'm going to widen it just a little bit through there so that the fenders, instead of being tucked in here, will stick out over the outside, because I'm going to bring them up first, channeling over the frame. The next thing you got to do when I'm channeling over the frame, because I want to put an engine cowl on it, so I'm going to have to take a radius, cut down the front engine shroud, because I'm going to be chopping it down. You can either use the shortened version of the 32 Ford that comes in the Milner coupe or whatever, the chopped roof one that they have, or you can just cut it down like I will probably do, is cut it down, because I don't have a lot of the radiator shells that are shortened up, because I've done a few chopped tops. For the roof, I figured out roughly the angle will be just about right for using this, so I'm going to use, out of my parts box, a 49 Mercury roof, the back half. Cut it out in the center approximately this much. I'll just probably cut inside the lines a little bit and keep narrowing it down until it fits just right on the back corner. But when I held it up there the first time, the bottom curve and the curve of the back of the shell is real close to the same, so I can make it hide. Measuring it, I found out the 57 Chevy Bel Air, or one of them, you use the center section, middle section of the roof, should have the right curve, the same as this. So I'll be cutting the center section out of this, narrowing it down to the right positioning in there. For the windshield, I'm going to use the chopped version of the windshield, and it'll keep it nice and low. For the frame, this is one that I had laying around right now, and I just scribed lines on it because I'm going to do a couple pre-cuts on it to make sure that the chopping, the shortening of it is going to work right, and see if it'll work before I cut down the original one. I'm not sure exactly how it will be, but we'll figure it out. A few cuttings and sandings. I found out that I should probably sand off the molding, the edge, I should say, ribbed edge that was running around the outside edge here and down at the bottom, so that it's all nice and smooth and flush. Getting that done. Got the front fenders cut off of the one that I'm going to use from the 34. Got the rear section cut off of the 32. I haven't cut the hood yet, or the roof. I got the hood cut haven't cut the hood yet, but I just got it sitting inside there for the moment. Got a bunch of the pieces laying over here on the edge. Just a small update of what's going on. Well, we've done lots of cutting. These are all cut, all ready to go. Cut the chunks all off. Working on the fenders of the 34. It has this edge on here. You have to sand that down. I started working on this one already. After cutting it in half, of course, it's easier to do. Then I just got to sand this one down, and then I can glue the fenders and everything all together. And what I've decided to do is glue the shell together, glue the fenders on, cut it down inside there so that it fits up over the edge, glue everything all tight together, and I think I'll glue the fenders, the shell together, and the front fenders on. And then I'll come back and show you what it is. Maybe I'll even do the hood or the roof at the same time. We'll see how it goes. We're cutting the interior down and shaving it down, chopping the frame or shortening the frame, putting it together, putting the rear end in. I found out that leaves would work, but I wanted a little bit more strength because of the way I was twisting things around. That I put just solid plastic from some sprue from the tree. So I got it all shortened up and situated the way I wanted and channeled over the frame. Interiors done up. I scribed the line in there where the door, inside door should be. Got it all situated and shortened up. I took the stock axle or the solid axle that was going to go in there, the curved one, and I drilled holes in it so that it looked like a modified street rod, so it's all drilled out in there. Cut the firewall and glued it to the inside here because I needed it to go down and back as far as it could go for when I install the engine, which I am working on now and getting it all put together. The chassis is still here. I got the engine all built up, situated to go in. I started gluing everything together on here and getting it all situated so that it all fit on the frame. The roof is partway done. Working on it and got everything else situated. Had to cut the bottom of the front of the fenders in the back here so that it was the same as the original running boards and everything. That's getting situated. Excuse me. With working on it, you kind of get tired. I started another project in back, which is a 69 Charger station wagon, and then of course I found another thrifty find at a swap meet for $1. It was the dune buggy. It needs a lot of work, and I just left it there because I haven't gotten around to it. Got everything all glued together. And before I had it all glued together, I just got carried away and started doing the body work, and everything lined up so well and smoothed out. Filled in the original door lines that were there and scribed a new line. Of course, I cut one of them out when I cut it and shortened it. Got everything else situated, everything else sanded, smooth. Everything fit real nice. Not a lot of body work had to be done, just a lot of time work on some sanding. I don't know if you can see real well on the inside, but you can still see where it's glued together in 4 pieces down here and then glued up together there. Everything's all situated and glued in place. When I put the radiator shell in after shortening it, I had to make a round piece to fit in here so that it would look nice and not be opened up, and it would flow in real nice. When I did the roof, I've decided that it needed to overhang over the windshield, so I glued some spur strips on and then shaped it to the shape I wanted and glued it all in place. And I'll be back in just a second after I get it all together here so you can see how it looks all in a rolling chassis. Got it into a rolling chassis, and yes, it does roll. Everything's situated real nice. Got the hood all sanded down and shaped the way I wanted. Left some of the louvers on. I don't know if I'm going to remove them all or not, but I got the shape right so when it sits in there. It hides the engine in there real nice, and everything's going to flow in real nice. I like the way the stance is sitting on it, and everything is situated. The color, I'm still up in the air. Probably going to be like a purple metallic or something like that. Something wild, so that it's loud and wild. I haven't decided if I'm going to remove any of this stuff on the top here. That's all up in the air. One thing I forgot to tell you what I do is I normally take the instructions from the model and I write down all the stuff I did to it, because sometimes somebody says on some of my older ones, oh, what did you use on such and such back? I go back in my old stock and then I can go back and figure out what I did. I do a quick little notes in the front, and then I go back and, like it says here, I shorten it 3/8 of an inch and stuff like that. What kind of roofs I used. It's just something I do just to keep myself remembering what I did, so I don't either do another one, or if I really like it I can do another one. Especially sometimes somebody wants yours and you end up selling it, and you wish you had another one, so you just grab out your plans and redo it. I'm setting up in my paint booth, which is something that I made on my own and everything. I'm going to paint it this dark purple metallic. I'm going to use this lacquer called Fast Dry, and after I'm done painting it I probably won't get back to it for a while, because I like to let them sit, even though it says, you know, can work on it the next day. I like to let them sit for a good month and probably shoot clear on it, which even takes a little longer for drying time, but I want to make sure it's all perfect. It's in my stand here. I got it set up so that I can spin it, but before I do that I'll be spraying the underneath side and everything, and I want to let that dry up good before I stick it back on here to do some painting. I use Fun Tack to hold it in places in a few spots after it's all done, situated. Just thought I'd show you the color that I ended up painting it. Dark purple. Here, let me turn the fan up. Dark purple. See it better on the hood. But everything turned out really good on it. All the bodywork doesn't show up at all. All nice up. Front end looks beautiful. Roof is just smooth. Now it's going to, well, there it is, all painted. I'm just going to leave it together like this for quite a while, and then come back and finish the detailing of the engine and interior and everything. It's all done up in a nice purple flake, and I like to let them sit and dry. All the bodywork looks really nice. Then I have to cut windshield down and cut the rear window in 3 pieces and narrow the center section of the 49 Merc.